Hi everybody, welcome to Raising Vibrations, and you're with Simon today. And we're going to be doing another subscriber chart reading. And so I'm really excited to be sharing with you my thoughts and ideas around this astrology chart. And hopefully this inspires you, to look at your own personal astrology chart through the lens of EA. Or it inspires you to say, you know what, it's time for me now to get my astrology chart read in a way that really reveals to me the soul. Either way, I hope that you enjoy what we're going to be doing today and you find a lot of value out of this. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the bottom line of the astrology chart, right? The core of what the soul comes into this lifetime with. So let's have a look. Pluto sits in the 10th house and it's in the constellation Scorpio. So the first thing, the bottom line here is that you're learning how to take charge of your life, right? Pluto in the 10th is I'm learning to take charge of my life. I'm learning to become my own parent. I'm learning to understand the concept of what my own personal judgments are about. And I want to learn how, through determination, I will get what it is that I am seeking in this lifetime. So as I spoke about in, I think it was the previous subscriber charts, that person also had Pluto in the 10th. And I'd said that Pluto in the 10th was also learning about time. And of course, this is the case, at a very deep level, you're becoming aware of time. You're becoming aware of how time operates and what is the context of time, because it's initiation of direction that then leads to an experience, and it's the cause and effect. It's like, how does my actions lead to a cycle that starts, and how does that cycle complete itself? And ultimately, it's this starting and a maturing experience, right? So you're learning about maturity as well. And so life can be very slow for you. Your empowerment in this lifetime can be very slow for you. And so you're learning just how to understand this dynamic. For me personally, I have Pluto in the 10th as well. And it takes time to process and build yourself in this world. But ultimately it comes later on when a lot of work that you've put into things becomes available to you and you get recognized for wisdom. So take your time with life, okay? Now, you're part of the Pluto and Scorpio generation. And what this means is that you're learning to, well, not learning, sorry, you are experiencing a huge metamorphosis in the way that life is changing for you. Okay, you're experiencing the metamorphosis in your own personal life, like you're learning how to let go and confront deep aspects of yourself, particularly around the parent, maybe even the father, working through some wounding around the relationship to the dad or to the mom. And of course, you're also built into a society that is ultimately collapsing around you. So you're learning how to process, oh, okay, I'm in a collapsing society. A lot of my desires and wantings to achieve things in life are probably going to come later, because the society that I want to belong to has different values to the ones that I feel intrinsically within me. So there's this process of having to go through experiences that transmute you. Okay, this is all about empowerment in yourself. So let's have a look at the South Node of the astrology chart, right? There's actually quite a lot happening, right? South Node in Leo in the 7th. The planetary ruler of the South Node is the Sun, and the Sun is in Sag in the 11th house, right? So we have South Node in the 7th, and the planetary ruler is in the 11th. So this has to do with, how do you relate to people in groups? How do you relate to the world? How do you relate to the needs of the community, the needs of the groups that you belong to? You're very sensitive to humanitarian activities. You want to be part of communities that represent the right spiritual values. And ultimately, this has a lot to do with how you consider your faith. Why? Because Sagittarius is the sign that is influencing your sun sign. And you can see that your sun sign is also right on top of your Venus. So there's something around recognizing the values of the community, so Venus in the 11th house, and you're wanting to pay close attention, Sun, to these values in the community. And really the context of it is, why do you believe what you believe, right? Is this your faith? Is that your faith? So from my point of view, it looks to me as if you've actually lived in certain types of spiritual communities in prior lifetimes, and maybe even in this one, and a lot of them, or religious communities as well, and you've wanted to become a leader and find your way to the top. And at some point, you recognized some limitations. You may or may not have actually been excommunicated from the tribe because you felt that the values that you wanted to bring were out of alignment with the tribe, out of alignment with the community. And so you're on this quest, from my point of view at least, you're on this quest to seek which types of people you can be belonging to, so South Node in the 7th house, and that are willing to accept you, that you can feel embraced by, that you can feel included by. And it has a lot to do with what is your special purpose. So you innately feel that there's a special purpose that you want to bring to this world. And so you're sensitive to recognizing who has the faith or the belief systems that are ultimately in alignment with my own personal agenda. Okay? The Chiron in Cancer says to me that there's some sort of sensitivity and a need to recognize the emotional relationship that you have to people, right? And you can see here that the South Node is squared by the Moon, and the Moon squares the North Node, and the Moon squares Saturn, and there we have also the Moon again squaring that Chiron. So your Moon sign is a very, very, very important part of your chart, I would say. And because the Moon is the way that we see ourselves in each moment, so in EA, the Moon represents the self-image that we see about ourselves, and you have this in Taurus in the 3rd house. So again, he has this dynamic of being sensitive to the communication and identities, or the identification of the values within your community, within the tribe. How do they define themselves? Do they define themselves this way? I like that. That's cool. I can get something out of this experience. And you bond with it, you merge with it. And ultimately what happens over here is that you find that you can be embraced or not. And this is ultimately what you're looking for, you know? And with the squares with the Moon, your North and South Node are very activated in your chart. You know, the karmic destiny line is activated. So, you know, there are some elements here of having to actually choose to break away from certain traditions or tribes or, you know, cosmologies, because they have left you feeling not maybe able to be integrated, or that you can't find the truth in it, you know, or the values don't seem to work out for you. So you're learning how to really, really gel with that. And unfortunately, part of that had meant to let go of, or objectify, or detach and say, this is not for me anymore. And with your Capricorn rising and Saturn ruling your 1st house, and Saturn, of course, in opposition to Chiron and squaring your sun sign, this is a need here to really step into learning very slowly, very meticulously, very methodically, that you are trying to find new direction. You're trying to find life purpose and meaning through the definitions, through the boundaries and borders that each community defines themselves through. And it will come to you in this lifetime. Okay? Fantastic. So I really hope that somebody got some value out of this experience and you were able to see the evolutionary astrology path. So to you that has this actual chart itself, thanks very much for giving us the opportunity to learn. And for anybody else that is part of the video that you've just watched, hope you got value out of it. Thanks very much for listening, and take care, everybody. Bye-bye.